Top 10 celebrities caught living a double life. Hey, I'm your host Bridget Shields and let's get right into the video. Number 10. Terrence Howard. The actor is known for his captivating intensity on screen and has certainly won him over with fans when he starred as Lucius on Empire, but sometimes art imitates life and Howard's domineering character was very much a reflection of the actor behind him. His violent tendencies were pretty well hidden from the public eye until 2009, when the Smoking Gun reported that about 10 years prior, the actor was arrested for viciously beating up his estranged wife, Lea Michele. Lea dialed 911 after Howard threatened her over the phone, saying that he was going to come over and hurt her, but it was too late because before the police arrived, he had already broken down the front door of her house and attacked her, punching her in the face multiple times. The actor was charged and pleaded guilty to disorderly conduct, but the incident wasn't a one-off. In 2000, Howard reportedly attacked a flight attendant for asking him to return to his seat because the seatbelt sign was on, and in 2005, he attacked a couple at a diner because they were seated before him. In the years following, he allegedly harmed multiple intimate partners in some of the worst ways possible, but it was a long time before any of these incidents got in the way of his career. Number 9. Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was a star of Terminator who eventually became the governor of California, so he definitely belongs in the world of the rich and famous. But few people know that Arnold Schwarzenegger was a very different person out of the spotlight. While he was married to veteran NBC journalist Maria Shriver since 1986, allegations of Arnold's behavior slowly began to surface, and suddenly his political career was facing ruin. In 2003, 15 women came forward claiming that the actor had them during his run for the California governor's seat. Then came the damage control. In an interview with Peter Jennings from ABC News, he tried to deny the accusations and insisted that no one ever came to him in his life and told him, "I don't want you to do that, and you went over the line." In fact, he went on to suggest that the women had actually timed the allegations specifically to match up with his campaign. But it gets worse. In 2011, an explosive Los Angeles Times report was published, revealing that Arnold had fathered a child with the family's housekeeper in the late 90s. It's safe to say that his marriage imploded because Maria filed for divorce on June the 2nd that same year. Number 8. Lea Michele. The actress and singer was the face of the hit TV musical Glee, playing the character we all love to hate, Rachel Berry. Her on-screen persona was harsh to say in the least, and could be extremely cruel when it comes to getting what she wants. But in terms of her overly ambitious character, it was actually a portrayal of how Lea was in real life, although she did an excellent job of keeping that hidden. It was in June of 2020, after the actress tweeted her support for Black Lives Matter, that she started being exposed for her true nature. Her former Glee co-star Samantha Ware called her out for hypocrisy, claiming that Lea made her time on set a living hell and threatened to defecate in her wig. Heather Morris also came out with her own allegations, quote, "Was she unpleasant to work with? Very much so. For Lea to treat others with the disrespect that she did for as long as she did, I believe she should be called out." Actor Keith Powell tweeted, quote, "Lea Michele is a terrible human and has said terrible things to many types of people, including racist microaggressions about black people." In light of the accusations of racism and bullying being made, the actress was then dropped from her partnership with the company HelloFresh and deactivated her Twitter account. Number 7. George Michael. His talents as a singer, songwriter, and music producer made George Michael one of the world's biggest selling artists. He has sold more than 100 million albums throughout a career spanning almost 4 decades. But behind all of his success as a musician, George had a hidden life. In 1998, after he was arrested for alleged lewd acts in a public restroom, the star came out as gay. He told CNN, quote, "This is as good of a time as any. I want to say that I have no problem with people knowing that I'm in a relationship with a man." After years of refusing to be drawn on speculation about his sexuality, this was a very big deal for the singer. But he made no qualms about admitting how hiding his sexuality for so many years had taken a serious toll on his mental health. In fact, the singer suffered from severe depression after his partner died in 1993 from an AIDS-related illness, and only a few years later he also lost his mother. It was extremely sad that it took him such a long time to live authentically, but he eventually became well known for his outspoken views in support of gay rights, using his arrest as a platform to highlight the prejudices within society. society. Number 6, Tiger Woods. Even if you're not a fan of golf, you definitely know who Tiger Woods is, one of the biggest international sports stars of the last 2 decades. In 2009, he became the first athlete to earn $1 billion through a combination of prize money and sponsorships. He seriously had it all: a model wife, 2 kids, and of course fame and fortune. But in the same year, the National Enquirer accused him of having an affair with a nightclub manager, and Woods crashed his car into a neighbor's tree at 2:25 a.m. Why the reckless driving? Well, rumors circulated that his wife had learned about the affair and attacked him in their home, which made him too disorientated to drive. Over the next few months, many more women came forward claiming to have slept with Woods during the 8 years he was with her. He eventually caved to the immense backlash and issued a televised statement in 2010, admitting to everything. But it was way too late, and his marriage was over, and some of his biggest endorsements were pulled because of the scandal. Number 5, Charlie Sheen. Known for his hard partying reputation and scandalous life, Charlie Sheen has been making headlines since the early 90s. But the actor had some pretty good PR and really managed to clean up his image after an alleged overdose that scared him straight, going on to marry Denise Richards and landing a comfy role on 2.5 Men. Sheen became a certified sitcom star and eventually welcomed 2 daughters, which really restored his reputation. But behind closed doors, the actor was back to his old habits and worse than ever. It was then that his marriage completely crumbled, and the former couple announced that they were divorcing. During a bitter custody dispute later that year, she claimed that he had physically and verbally attacked her and threatened to take her life. As a result, she received a restraining order against him. He was subsequently kicked off 2.5 Men and replaced with Ashton Kutcher, not to mention his infamous 2011 meltdown where he attacked director Chuck Lorre. After that, Sheen's secret life became exceedingly public as he stopped hiding the fact that he had adult film stars over to his house and kept up his very hardcore lifestyle. It's important to note that through all this, he has checked into rehab multiple times for substance misuse and made very real attempts to get his dependency under control. Number 4, Bil Cosby. The comedian was once known to millions as America's Dad, famous for his clean brand of family comedy and his award-winning work with children's programming. The Cosby Show, which was launched by NBC in 1984 and aired for 8 seasons, was his biggest success and established him as a household name. So when the first accusations surfaced in 2005, his public persona was so revered that he essentially walked away unscathed. It was only when other women, 13 to be exact, agreed to be witnesses that Cosby's double life was starting to be exposed. In the years following the first accusation, more than 50 women have come out claiming the star slipped them illicit substances and took advantage of them while they were unconscious. The women all had similar stories, which reportedly went back as far as almost 50 years. Finally, in April of 2018, the 80-year-old was found guilty of 3 counts of SA against Andrea Constand, the former Temple University women's basketball director, who claimed that he attacked her in his home in 2004. Some kind of justice was served as the comedian was sentenced to 3 to 10 years in prison. Although some of his defenders continue to support him, Cosby's name will forever be associated with his crimes. Number 3, Ellen DeGeneres. The stand-up comedian and veteran talk show host Ellen was nicknamed the Queen of Nice, with many people loving her signature catchphrase, "Be kind to one another," as well as her on-screen giveaways and vocal support of the LGBTQ+ community. But behind the curtain, Ellen was a very different person entirely. That all got revealed in March of 2020, when podcaster Kevin T. Porter asked people to post stories about her mean-spirited behavior, which completely opened the floodgates. The comedian was then slammed by past and present employees with accusations of enabling a toxic work culture when the cameras weren't rolling, and found herself engulfed in accusations of bullying behavior by not only staffers but past guests, with some insisting her mean nature is common knowledge among the Hollywood elite. DeGeneres addressed the infamous toxic workplace scandal that saw 3 of her most senior staffers axed from The Ellen Show. One TV writer claimed that Ellen required anyone who talks to her to chew gum from a bowl outside of her office first, and that she often sends staff home to shower if she thinks they smell. Because of the negative publicity she received, the comic has had to wrap up her hit talk show after 19 seasons on air. Number 2, Armie Hammer. Among the new stars who have recently graced the big screen, Armie Hammer really stood out. He had a wholesome image with an all-American crew cut and absolutely killed it in his role as the Winklevoss twins in The Social Network. But it was his part in Call Me by by Your Name that really made him a global star. Nothing is ever as it seems though, and he was very good at disguising his dark side. In January, a series of text messages were leaked of him detailing his fantasies of cannibalism. The actor also accused of attacking multiple women and named a suspect in an LAPD case which is still under criminal investigation. His former intimate partner came forward claiming that Hammer viciously attacked her over a period of 4 hours, and not long after, his wife Elizabeth Chambers left him and the facade of their perfect marriage fell apart. She has even called him a monster. The actor was then dropped out of 2 high-profile projects and is now residing in a resort on the Cayman Islands, potentially until the police investigation is concluded. And last one, coming in at number 1, Harvey Weinstein. He was once the king of the indie film world and the producer who dominated Hollywood for decades. Harvey Weinstein won awards for producing iconic films like Trainspotting and Pulp Fiction, but the truth is that he used his immense power and influence in the film industry to take advantage of women throughout his career. There were rumors about his predatory behavior, but they were not necessarily known to the general public. In fact, most people only found out about his double life after his downfall. The scandal exploded in October of 2017 when the New York Times released a report revealing that Weinstein had reached financial settlements with 8 different women who had accused him of predatory behavior. He had tried to squash the allegations with money, but as soon as he was exposed for doing so, his life and career crumbled around him. He was fired from his firm, the Weinstein Company, just before 13 other women came forward with similar claims. His wife Georgina Chapman left him, and in May of 2018, he turned himself in to the New York City police to face criminal charges. In February 2020, he was handed a 23-year prison sentence. Thank you so much for watching. That's all for today. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.